Aha.
Green light, go, go, go.
Something new. This is official free practice. Alright. So there's that. Oh, my voice is already gone. Water. Okay. So while free practice is going on, hello. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Paddock Sim Racing Assetto Corsa Competizione Super Trofeo Spec Series. This is round 3 at Nürburgring. We will be looking at Discord, reading and speaking different things hurt my brain. How's my sound, Toasty? Is my sound okay? I had to mess with a whole bunch of volumes and stuff, so I think I got it just right. I don't know if the cars are too loud or if they're too quiet, or if I'm too loud or if I'm too quiet. Help me out, I'd be mucho great. Alright, I got that. Alright, so since this is round 3, we took a big break. So I will pull up. Here are your official point standings from after round 2. You can see that PTG, Sean, still out in front. Still out front with some hefty points there. He did great in round 1 at Monza. Stayed out in front with a consistent lap. Did very well in the flip grid scenario in both races 1 and 2 at Misano. Performed excellent coming through the field and maintaining a high grid position for the end of that race. So going down scoreboard, as you can see, you have PTG Sean in first, second place is ART Schwaneman, third is Bad Wolfman, fourth is ART Magic 8, fifth is DOR Yellow Cactus, sixth is Fuzzball, seventh is PT SR Smokes, eighth is PTG Onyx, ninth is Ann Millie, 10th is Good Woodsy. 11th there is More the Coat. 12th is Elzebor. I always say that wrong. PTG Fern in 13th. DOR Steve in 14th. Crazy Mittens. 15th. TPSR Fudge in 16th. Speed Hunter 17th. And Folding Rocket in 18th. A few of these drivers, I believe, are dropouts. Speed Hunter and Folding Rock, I believe they were just one event racers, so I'm not sure if they'll be showing up tonight. But we have quite a few drivers that aren't even on the list that are in the lobby tonight. New to TPSR events, you have Trigger, very fast, showed great promise and great speed in practice, so looking forward to great things as well there. That is your standings as of now, but anything could happen, anything could change during our round 3 at Nürburgring race today. If you don't know how the series works, I will go over that real quick for you. Let me make this smaller here. So it's a 2-race event. Right now we're in free practice. Qualifying is about to begin shortly thereafter. And then in race 1, it is a short round. It is a 15-minute sprint race. And then for the second race, is going to be change conditions. We'll be racing into the night for race 2. It'll be a endurance race, 45 minutes. But the grid positions are reversed grid from the positions of race 1. So it gets a great balance of mayhem and craziness. And I love every single second of that racing. So it should be a good time. Should be a good time. Majority of the drivers are running about 2-minute flats to 2:01s. I have seen sub 2s in previous races. Whether or not those are consistent paces, I am not entirely sure. I believe Magic 8 was sub 2 minutes fairly consistently, so the cars are very quick here if you get the right balance in them. These guys are already out on track, so I will spill the beans on what I have learned in my own practices. The car loves a very soft front end with equal balance in the ride height, with leaving the max aero on the rear. And since we're driving into the night, tire pressures are going to play a huge factor here, especially in the endurance race, where if you lose the heat in the front tires going into the cold night, it'll throw off the performance of the car, and you will lose seconds off of your lap time heading underneath the lights in the second race, the endurance race. So setup from race 1, just the quick sprint race, to the race 2, the endurance is you really need 2 separate setups. We'll see if people are ballsy enough to run one setup or just stick it out with one setup and just adjust tire pressures. Excuse me. I read somewhere, not a forum or anything, but in a tweet that isn't from the official source, that we can say they fixed the lobby crashing bug between spectate mode. So we're going to see if it actually works here in about 1 minute and 35 seconds. I have my doubts, so we'll see. Alright, so it did work. Sweet. I like that. That makes future events so much better for me. Alright, cars going out for official qualifying. Need the perfect amount of fuel in these cars to get the best performance out of them. Typically, I like to run about 1 to 2 extra laps of fuel in the car, even during qualifying, because you don't know when you'll be coming across the line. might get that chance to put some extra laps in. As always, anybody in chat and or Discord, I'm keeping an eye on Discord as well. If you have any particular drivers that you want to spectate or take a gander at during the race, you and I have the ability to snoop on them. So that's a very dangerous power that I have, because Curse of the Commentator is very real, even in the virtual world. Even in the virtual world. I don't know how many times during Monza I would spectate, switch cameras to somebody, and they would hit that invisible banana peel in turn 7. Oh man, if you want to see an amazing spectacle of cars spinning out just for no reason whatsoever, go watch our Monza race. It's both on our Twitch archive and our YouTube. That race was something else. It was very bizarre. A lot of fun to watch, so don't expect too much out of it, but it was very bizarre and fun indeed. Too fun, too fun. So a lot of drivers are still on their out laps. I see that Magic 8 hasn't left his pit box. I don't know if he's doing a super low fuel qualifying run. He's only got 7 minutes 30 seconds left, or if he's just going to eat the qualifying and start from the back. Right on board with Wolfman as he comes across the line. Start his first flying lap. But he is spaced out quite nicely out on track, giving each other plenty of space to run their pace for qualifying, which you like to see. You don't like to see a cars all bottled up. You want to see what they can run. You want to see what they can do without the pressure of someone behind and or in front of them. Great group of drivers here indeed. Hello everybody that's joining the stream. We are about to get underway. Yes, yes. Qualifying is still going on. First hot laps have yet to be put into the books, but I believe we're about to see a few come across the line here in just a second. Here we go. Here comes the lap times. A 2:02, 2:01.8. Fantastic. Just as predicted. Look at those top 3 so far, spread out by not even 2/10. That's, you gotta love that aspect of skill of the drivers as PTG Sean comes across the line, putting everyone a second back in quali. Wolfman coming up close there with is a 2:01.3. Right on board. Wolfman comes off track wide. Right on board with Smokes now in the 74 Lamborghini. Oh, hitting the curb hard. Those curbs, man. Especially in that quick final chicane. Those will throw you from left to right. You'll end up in the Nürburgring, the Nordschleife circuit, real quick. Anybody else see their picture on Twitter today of the snowfall there? Super beautiful. Super pretty. While they're doing that, oh, a little bit of hesitation lag there, but that's fine. Ooh, car spun out there in turns 4 and 5. The 911 car. I believe that was C. Oh, there we go with Schwaneman with a 159.8, putting him on provisional pole so far. Still about 3 laps remaining for most drivers. Start putting in something else. Whoop. That was the wrong. I mean the right one, but wrong place and time. Anything has changed thus yet. Still ART Schwaneman up front with a 159.8. It's a 2:02 minute 2 flat by PTG Sean. Smokes now up into third place on grid in the 74 car. Your Yellow Cactus just behind him, but only just. Fantastic lap time, guys. Super close together. Only about 1 to 2 laps left remaining for most of these guys. Riding on board with Magic 8. He's coming across the line now, I believe, for his first flyer. There he goes. All right, up to the top with a 59.3, putting it. Oh wow, putting Schwaneman down nearly half a second with just 1 lap in the books. He's got that car completely underneath of him. Just looks so smooth. Smoother you are in this car, and the more you are able to hit your spot, your marks out on track, the better the lap time will be. That is for sure. Seconds left in qualifying. These guys have the chance to finish their laps here as we ride on board with TPSR Fudge. Right now, I think ART is going to sweep the front row with Magic 8 taking pole, unless somebody can work some magic here. Very quick through that final. Should get a little bit of lag there going on. You don't see that IRL, but a little bit of hesitation coming through the final turn there from TPSR Fudge. Does he improve coming across the line? No improvement coming across the line. Losing the car. Oh, that's not good for your SA. You don't want to... That is something what not to do, some would say. But impressive indeed. Okay, it looks like the 21 machine there. No improvement. Okay. Fantastic. All right, so that's your qualifying order that you see on your screen. ART on the front row, PTG in third, more the coat, very fast, very fast. In fourth, P1R Trigger, fifth, and Millie sixth, Smokes seventh, DOR Cactus eighth, Fuzzball ninth, Wolfman 10th, Fudge in 11th, DOR Steve 12th, PTG Fern in 13th, Crazy Mittens in 14th. That is a great lineup, and I love how close those lap times are. You have the top, I'd say like top four drivers there, very close to one another, and then from there on back, they're basically on top of each other. So we should see some great racing here in our race one, the sprint race. So got a nice little intermission here. So as of right now, we'll bring back up the points board. I believe that puts Magic 8 with 3 pole positions in a row. See these little circles here just next to the Lamborghini sign in his little gamer tag bubble there. Those are for pole positions. He got it at Monza and Misano and claimed his third pole position here at Nürburgring just a moment ago. That is fantastic. Some great driving by him. Unfortunately, had a few incidences at Monza that put him a little down in the points uh, for round one. So let's see if he can come back and capitalize on those pole positions at the start of this sprint race in just 8 minutes and 30 seconds. So I'll take this time to stretch your legs, get a drink, walk your dog, do what you need to do, and be back here in a few seconds for the race to go down. Yes, indeed. The cars all lined up nice and neat on grid. That is a beautiful sight. Beautiful sight indeed. And if you are wanting to run, registration is still open. Toasty wishing everybody a good luck. Good luck indeed. Turn one is going to be crazy. And I'm going to love every second of it. Yes. Yeah, registration's still available. Technically, you would be a reserve driver, but registration is still available to register. But that does leave only one race event left in the calendar. As you see on the bottom right, it is Paul Ricard. A very fast track for these cars. So that is also going to be a very fun race to spectate as well. Yes. While that's doing that, I am going to mute myself so I can run downstairs and grab more tea so I can speak by the end of this event. So, everybody, take a quick drink. Stay hydrated. Hydration is very key. Be right back, everybody. Ooh, who's getting excited? 3 minutes to go, everybody. Ooh, less than 3 minutes. Okay, so for all of you who are just now joining, this is round 3 of the Paddock Sim Racing Super Trofeo series. Here at Nürburgring, the Bulls will be doing 2 races tonight. Qualifying just happened. Qualifying positions are up on your screen on the upper left. And race 1 is a short 15-minute race. And race 2 is a 45-minute endurance race, flipped grid from race 1, from your finishing position in race 1. So, should be very exciting to see the fast guys bowl their way through the field on the start of race 2. And during the race, if there's any particular driver that you want to spectate, snoop, make fun of, and or poke at, let me know, and I will feel obligatory to spectate that particular driver. No problemo. All those beautiful Lamborghinis out on track at the moment. Less than a minute to go, everybody. Be prepared to lower your volume as I start shouting at the microphone and making no sense whatsoever, but it's going to be a good time. Look at all those beautiful paint jobs on these Lamborghinis. They're doing such a good job. "30 seconds to go. Engines will start firing up soon. And they will do their pace lap. A couple cars already dropping down. Fantastic. You can hear them roaring now. All right. And they're rolling. Oh, we're stuck on a single person here, aren't we? Yes, we are. I believe it's back. Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Boop. All right, that's gonna sit there for just a second. Boop. Boop. So it still does the whole lag out no matter what from qualifying to race. Not too bad, but not ideal. Not ideal. Never fear. Well, by the time we get back in there, we should be just going green. Nice. This loading screen takes forever. All right, let's jump back in it. Let's jump back in. Oh, and they just went green. Nice. Right on board with one of the front drivers here, Magic 8. Through the field quite cleanly. On board with BOR Yellow Cactus here, is side by side with Smokes. Turns 2 and 3. Oh, it'd be helpful if you guys could see that, wouldn't it? There we go. Much better. I'm so sorry. Much better. All right. Very, very clean start by all of these guys. Well done. Turn 1 is usually a disaster in real life, and they made it look like child's play. Nice. Ah, listen to all those beautiful V10s charging down the hill. Go heavy into the brake zone. Looks like someone off in the grass. I believe that was Coat. No, I'm not sure who that was. We'll find out as they head through the next sector marker. They're all so close together, it's kind of hard to tell who's who and where's where. I believe that was Fudge who was off in the gravel back there before. On board Billy as they come across the line for the first time at speed. PTG Sean all over the back of Schwanneman still. Looking left, looking right, still has more of the coat just lurking in the distance. shot coming around the S's. Heavy on the brakes. Oh, Schwanneman looking locked up on the outside. Sean looked to go down the inside of him, got caught up just a little bit, tapped him, spun himself into the apron there through the carousel. Quite easy to do if you're a little on edge there. Drop back quite a few positions. One little mistake and you're back through the field at quite a distance. And you don't have a whole lot of time to get a lot done here in this race one, so any mistake is a huge mistake, especially when it comes to overall pace here. Some of those front runners are pretty unforgiving and quite relentless when the heat is on. Putting more of the coat up to third as Sean drops all the way back to 8th. As you can see the gap between the leaders, those top 3 right now, and the rest of the field, roughly about 2 to 3 seconds between them. Yeah, just over 3 seconds between them. Yeah, he had a great start, but he's got pace to definitely make up plenty of positions. PTG Sean does. On board with Smokes, who is 4th overall. More the coat. Losing a lot of ground. I don't know what happened to him. Incident there puts him all the way back just behind PTG Sean. We missed that one. Oh, car gets a little squirrely at the top of the Schumacher S's. I'm not sure who that was, but I think that was Fuzzball in the 21. Yes, Fuzzball in the 21. He'll lose a few positions to Sean and more the coat. I believe, yep. Yeah, Cactus doesn't quite make it by him after that little stumble. Yeah, just one little hiccup, and you're down 2, 3, 4 positions before you can even realize what just happened. That is the glory of spec racing. And the downfall, depending on who you are. Ooh, missing the brake zone just a little bit there by more the coat. As Cactus looks to the outside for an advantage there. Still nose to tail as they come around the corner of the final corner down the front straight. Nose to tail, great battles going on there. This is where all the action is at the moment. Between Fuzzball, Cactus, more of the coat, and PTG Sean and Wolfman here. Wolfman going a little wide through turns 3 and 4 here. Setting Sean up quite nicely for an over-under pass as they come down this mid-straight out of the stadium section. Looking to the outside, late on the brakes. Doesn't quite see a gap to take. Right up underneath the wing there of Wolfman. Say hello, how are you? Patience is key, but you don't want to wait too long. Already 7 minutes 30 seconds left in the race. Halfway mark has been hit by the radio. Great battle going on here as Magic 8 and the number 8 Lambo still out in front, about to complete lap number 4. ART Schwannemann in second place. Smokes all the way up to third. A little bit of a gap between him and Millie in fourth. To maintain the distance, those are some crucial points to be had, definitely. So far, some great racing by these guys. I expected it. If you watch Monza and then you watch this race, you would not believe the difference of racing that is being displayed here in front of you. It's awesome to witness. Look at these guys. Nose to tail, looking left, looking right, door-to-door action. More the coat all over the back of the 15 car here of Wolfman. We're still riding on board with him. They're just so evenly balanced together. It is so hard to find just a window. You basically have to open a window yourself as more of the coat looks to the outside through the carousel. Very hard to get a move done there. You need to have that set up super early into the brake zone to make that stick effectively, and at least on the inside. If you're on the outside there, that's a brave move. About 10-second gap between second and third now, as the ART guys just kind of chilling out in front, as whatever gap Smokes had to and Millie has pretty much vanished. As the number 12 car went around, I believe that's Crazy Mittens, just before, just after the Schumacher S's. He's rolling again. That'll be seen at the moment is right here between PTG Sean, Mork Coates, and Wolfman. Of course, you have Yellow Cactus 2 in the fight. Buzzball just slightly behind this battle. Yeah, it definitely makes for interesting racing. These guys are playing nice, but we'll see what happens with 4 minutes to go. Not only do they have just, this short 15-minute race, they also have to prep themselves for the 45-minute endurance right after, with a short little breather, of course. And Millie, Crazy Mittens in pit lane, either with damage or a tire down, I suspect. That is quite unfortunate indeed, but that'll put him in a good place for the endurance race. He can maintain a level head during the start. That'll put him up for a great spot. Great spot indeed into... and PTG Onyx looks like he finally made the race. I didn't see him earlier in qualifying. Nice. Battle here between Sean is getting real. Looks like he made the move on Wolfman, made it stick. I believe. Now he's working on the 67 of Ann Millie. With about leaders out front, I would say about 2 laps to go. They'll complete this one just before the timer comes up, and I don't think they're willing to wait with everyone fighting just behind them. All these guys have a chance to make another move. Fails this lap. Very good corner there to set up for an over-under pass into the downhill section. Didn't look like he quite got enough of a run there. And Millie doing good to keep a level head, taking up as much of the road as possible. Keep the 921 car just under his wing. More the coat. Looks like he fell back just a little bit again, losing position to P1R Trigger. Just a little bit further back in the field. Trying to do a side-by-side over-under at the top of the hill, going down towards the back straight, over-under into another over-under, possibly. No, couldn't get it done. And Millie's still out in front of the PTG machine of Sean. Not quite get it done there. He'll have one more lap to try and make the move, but he will not be alone, as Bad Wolfman and Fuzzball have closed the gap to this battle. So two more have entered the fray, and this is all just for fourth place. You have ART Magic 8 out front, 7 laps down, going to complete 8 for this race. The 92 of ART Schwaneman. ART Schwaneman in second, and TPSR Smokes in the 74 machine in third at the moment. The battle we're looking at right now is for fourth overall, with PTG Sean desperately looking for a way around and Millie, as they're side by side heading down to the downhill section. Who's got the late brakes here? Still side by side as PTG Sean makes his way around and Millie on the final lap going down the downhill section. A great maneuver, looking for that position, that pass in that same spot for the last 3 laps. Finally got it done. Great driving there by both to not lose too much ground or any other positions to the drivers behind us. PTG Sean goes wide through the carousel, putting Ann Millie back out in front, but only just the 2 drivers behind looked like they were battling as well through the downhill section. Not quite enough room for Wolfman and or Fuzzball to capitalize on the slight mistake there by PTG Sean. Still side by side as they head through the back section of the track. Looking to the inside. Oh, and a tap of the rear bumper of PTG Sean against Ann Millie. Being a scholar and waiting up for him as a few other drivers made it through. And the leader comes across the line. As second place, we're on board with now. Takes second place for Schwaneman. Schmokes comes across the line as well in third. Well done, everybody there. As Wolfman will come across the line in fourth. DOR Cactus in fifth. Trigger very close behind in sixth. Seventh is Fuzzball. Eighth is Ann Millie. Ninth is More the Coat, PTG Fern, and PTG Sean. DOR Steve, I believe, will come across the line next. Only just with PTG, TPSR Fudge right behind him. Yes, that is a very unfortunate turn of events there for Sean, but that puts him in a pretty decent position for the endurance race. As you can see, I believe that is Magic 8 doing victory donuts down there in the gravel trap. Well earned, well deserved finish by him. He has had quite a few upsets earlier on in the season. That victory, that position, race position, has got to feel pretty good for him. Definitely. Qualified both pole round 1, round 2, and round 3 here, but to come home with the W, finally, the big W. That's got to feel pretty good for him. Most definitely. All right. And now a short 10-minute intermission for the 45-minute race, where I will most likely lose my voice by the end of it, but that's just fine. That's how it goes. That was a very great performance by all drivers. Definitely. A great drive by the two ART guys up front, keeping a consistent pace over the field, not really messing with each other. There at the start of the race, giving each other plenty of room through turn one and not sacrifice any positions to the rest of the field, keeping their noses clean, hitting all their marks, staying out front. A few incidences between, I believe, more the coat. I believe PTG Sean there at the end uh, with Ann Millie, but being the gentleman that he is, letting the position uh, back to the driver. But it sets him up quite nicely for the next event. That is a plus there in the darkness for him, and the unfortunate circumstances of Crazy Mittens having to take a pit for damages in the midst of that race. Definitely an unfortunate turn of events for the Crazy Mittens team. But once again, puts him in a great position for the 45-minute endurance coming up here in just 8 minutes time. So, stretch your legs. Again, hydrate for this next long race. I can definitely feel my voice already starting to go. Let me go over and check the Discord real quick. Scroll on down. Yes. Yep, okay. Final positions are being posted in Discord for drivers as we speak. Now, our pre-race lobby, or not lobby, but pace lap, is a manual pace lap. So anything that you see the drivers doing, they have, they're not being told to do what to do. So these guys are pretty well versed on outlap procedures. Great sportsmanship also being presented in Discord. These are good guys. Good guys. So your race 2 positions for the endurance 45-minute is going to be like this. In first place, you'll have Crazy Mittens. Second, you'll have PTG Onyx. Third, you'll have TPSR Fudge. Fourth, you'll have DOR Steve. Fifth, you'll have PTG Sean. Sixth is PTG Fern. Seventh is More the Coat. Eighth is Ann Millie. Ninth will be Fuzzball. 10th will be Trigger. 11th will be DOR Cactus. 12th will be Bad Wolfman. 13th will be TPSR Smokes. 14th will be Schwannaman, ART Schwannaman. And 15th will be ART Magic 8. Excuse me. So that will be your grid for race 2, the 45-minute endurance. So we basically just threw up everything in the air and flipped it all around. All the fast guys that started to walk away in race 1, we threw them in the back, and they got to make their way to the front. And as you can see from race 1, it is very hard to pass when you are all in the same car, with relatively close to the same skill level. So it throws a great wrench into the mix. But unlike with the 15-minute race 1, race 2 is a 45-minute race. So that you have a little bit more time and a little bit more patience to make and predict the moves that you have in the race. And another curveball for this particular race, round 3, you will be starting in the daytime. I don't know if you can see the time of day up there. No, it's not. But we start in the evening, and we will race into the night. I believe it's like a 9 o'clock to about 10 o'clock uh, as far as time. So you start with hot track temps or mild track temps, and the temperature will just start to drop as you head into the night. Now you need to tune your tires accordingly, definitely. Another thing is with the 45-minute race, you can do this entire 45-minute stint with one tank of fuel. I think it's kind of like one of the catch-22s is you're definitely going to be off pace for quite a few laps as tires, get worn in, and the heavy load of the fuel is definitely a factor, especially on the opening laps. Or you could try and two-stop it if you keep your nose clean and if you have the fast pace with the light load. Personally, I like to do it without having to stop at all, so I put a lot of fuel in the car and kind of tiptoe my way around the track in the opening sections. Just keep the nose of your car clean and potentially come out on top towards the end of the race. I believe that's the majority of drivers' decisions for this particular event. Two minutes to go here before we get going. Whew. Okay. All right, everything's be okay. Drivers are thumbs up and ready to go. Fuel being loaded in cars, engines being fired up. Let's get racing. 45 minutes on the clock. The lights will turn on. And we'll start our way around. Yes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. and you will see the great shuffling of the grid here in just a second. So what you see on the left side of your screen will not be in effect until they hit the first sector marker, so keep that in mind. All the top guys move to track outside. Right on board with Crazy Mittens as he'll take the field around on the pace lap. They will run single file until, I believe, the second chicane, or the final chicanes. They'll double up there before. Sorry, Mike. Punch you. Here we go, up the hill through the Schumacher S's. Drivers into their tires. Warming up those brakes. Definitely going to need them for that turn one. Love that shot. Look at that shot. All them cars coming through there. Beautiful. Beautiful indeed. And they'll start doubling up here at the bottom of the hill. What are they doing? Not the prettiest start. Leave Crazy Mittens wasn't paying attention to what side of the track he was supposed to start on, but as they go down into turn one, it looks like they were about 3 wide there for a split second. Oh, and a car gets spun around. I'm not entirely sure who that was. Is that the one machine, I believe? Yeah, but he is back underway. Side by side as they come out through the stadium section and towards the downhill. Still side by side with the 21 of Fuzzball and Fudge. The door is still open as Fuzzball went through, leaving Wolfman to make a move as well. Has the inside line through the carousel. Crazy Mittens still leads. PTG Sean still in second place. I believe there was a car there stuck on the apron. I'm not entirely sure who that was. The 911 car, I believe. That's Steve. Yes, it was. Probably looped it there. Still really close at the front of the track is Schwanneman. Moving up the field quite rapidly with TPSR Fudge right in front of him. Making good moves through the field. Schwanneman making a move on Fudge. Bottom of the hill through the brake zone of the final chicane. They funnel in nose to tail through there and into the final corner. As Crazy Mittens comes through, completing lap 1. Crazy Mittens losing position there to what is now More the Coat and PTG Sean. Heading into the first corner. Fuzzball 21 machine now leading up to Mittens. Great running there. Wannaman doing well. With the number 8 of ART Magic 8 still in the back of the pack, kind of just buying his time. The car play out, heading into the brake zone, heavy into the brake zone, into the carousel. Getting the inside line there. Ooh, cutting it close there. Ooh. Had the brakes there, but there was a car into the brake zone. Kind of caught him off guard, having to go out just a little wide. Kind of collecting, I believe that was Fern there as well. Up the hills, More the Coat, PGG Fern, still out in front. Crazy Mittens, about 2 seconds behind them now. With the whole gaggle of cars from Fuzzball all the way back are still basically nose to tail, small gaps in between, but this is what I love about this flip grid scenarios. It's just pure chaos for the first 3 or 4 laps. And we don't even have a full field. We're still missing like 5 drivers. Craziness. Craziness, I tell you. Definitely see the headlights starting to glow now as the sun heads down past the horizon. Rotors are starting to definitely show their glow under the heavy brake zones. Wannaman now catching Crazy Mittens as Wolfman made his way back around Mittens as well. PTG Fern moves down a few positions there. As both Smokes and Magic 8 head through the carousel, as it looks like Magic 8 made the move on Smokes into the carousel there. Both the TPSR boys together on track. Flying the TPSR colors there as well. there on Fudge again. Down the front straight. Schwanneman making his way around Ann Millie. Drivers are now starting to spread out just a bit. TPSR Smokes makes his way around his teammate, TPSR Fudge. They're still together out on track, though. Ooh, a little bit of lag there from Fudge, as you can see. Comes through the field, out of the stadium section. So 92 of Schwanneman made his way around Ann Millie. Ann Millie made his way around Crazy Mittens. ART really putting on a show of the pace that they had in race 1 here in race 2 as well. Doing it in a fashionably clean way, which I love to see. Magic 8 at the moment, heading through the final chicane. Already putting the move on trigger. Heading through the final corner. We still have 36 minutes to go. Fantastic racing. Magic 8 all over the back of Crazy Mittens now. Flashing the lights, looking to the outside. Magic 8 getting the brakes going super wide, getting the pass done there quite nicely on Mittens. Mittens not really fighting that one too much. Well done indeed there by both drivers, making a clean, fast pass. A little bit of a gap now, starting to spread out over the top 7 positions out there on the grid. About 2 seconds between each driver now. I believe that'll be the scenario. Oh, and Trigger making the move there on Crazy Mittens as well, getting the pass done on Mittens. Ooh, and then going a little wide into the back section of the track. He'll lose a little bit of speed. Mittens is going to tuck up underneath the wing. He might have the braking advantage into the final chicane. They're side by side. Oh, and Mittens goes a little wide there into the back section. That's going to put TPSR Smokes right up under him, if not right alongside through the final corner. Very tight section to make a pass. Indeed, both drivers perform beautifully, leaving each other enough room. Smokes gets the pass done, coming across the line to complete lap 5 with only 20 more laps to go. Can you believe it? It's just that exciting. TPSR Fudge dropped back all the way to 15th. I don't know what happened there. Maybe he had a bit of an off or a spin. But he didn't fall back too far. He's still right there behind DOR Steve and PTG Fern out on track. Downhill section. There's TPSR Smokes. Looks like he's slowly starting to catch trigger. Not quite sure. It looks like Ian Millie made a position back on Magic 8. I'm not sure if he had a bit of an off where they got together. I know they were next to each other for quite some time. Slowly starting to catch, I believe. No, he's still kind of just out in front of this battle here. Breaks in the final chicane. Magic 8 looking all racy underneath the wing of that of the number 67 that's a Nurburgring. They go across the line, nose to tail, into the break zone of turn 1. Magic 8 will get the pass done quite cleanly, quite nicely. There, as you can now really definitely start to see the headlights being a necessary factor into this race. As Magic 8 and Schwannemann, teammates, out on track, both together. Schwannemann letting Magic 8 go. Not quite sure if that was team orders or if that was "you're the faster man, let me follow you for now." That moves ART Magic 8 up to 5th. ART Schwannemann into 6th position overall, with More the Coat still out in front at the moment with about a 4.5 second lead over PTG Sean. Buzzball and Wolfman still out on track, pretty close together, always running together pretty much, it seems, out on track. Between those two. And then you have about 4.5, 5 second gap back to Magic 8 and Schwarman. The rest of the field is about 2 to 3-ish seconds apart for the rest of the field. Definitely tell by the mini map that the pace of the drivers are definitely starting to spread out now. With a lot of the skilled base, I don't want to say that, but the skilled base drivers are starting to take their advantages over the majority of the fields. There was a car spun out there, I believe that was, I want to say Wolfman, right there. I believe that was Wolfman. Yes, it was Wolfman, spun there in turn 1. Probably a little greedy there with the throttle in turn 1, can easily be done. I have done that myself a time or two, especially down here in the carousel, the end of the downhill section. I've done that many, many times. Wolfman moves position to at least Magic 8 here. And Fuzzball. Fuzzball lost a spot too, so he was also in that kerfuffle in turn 1. I did not notice that. So Magic 8 all the way up into a podium position after starting in 15th place in 7 laps. He is now up into a podium position. That is some fantastic driving there. And TPSR Fudge into the pit lane. Had a bit of an incident and started driving a little bit slower than the rest of the field after said incident, so he's probably got some pretty decent damage on his machine. And just like that, we have a group battle between third all the way back to the eighth at the moment. Another great battle going on here as Wolfman, Fuzzball, and Schwanneman duke it out through the stadium section. I believe that's Ann Million Trigger there as well, right there in the back of that field. Oh, big incident! Big wreck between Trigger and TPSR. Smokes coming out of the stadium section. Both aren't really moving, letting the field clear. That was a very big hit by them. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. We just caught the tail end of it. I'm not sure if Smokes and Trigger were both sideways and they just tagged each other. We'll have to go back to the instant replay, as they say. I am sure there will be a clip or two in Discord after the race. That was a very big hit by both of them. Doesn't look like there's a lot of damage done to the 74 machine, but Trigger looks to be moving quite slowly indeed. So I don't know if there was something that happened prior to that contact or what. We'll go back to the battle at hand with Schwanneman, Wolfman, and Fuzzball. So far, Wolfman's still out in front of this little group with Schwanneman close on his heels. Or the coat just kind of pacing himself out in front, comfortably out in front of PTG Sean. Most likely, both drivers are kind of just trying to save their tires for the end of the race. Maybe save their brakes, depending on what pad they're using. 25 minutes to go here in race 2. Quite a few cars in pit lane now. Fudge still in pit lane, so I'm not sure if he's got damage or if he's sitting out at the moment, but both Trigger and Smokes both in pit lane, probably for damages. They're both sit in their pit boxes. It looks like Magic 8 is catching PTG Sean quite quickly. Last 2 laps or so, I believe he caught him, I would say, about 2 seconds. He's come down to him. Keep an eye on that as well. We'll run up here. These guys as both Smokes leaving pit lane at the moment. Joining the field in the midst of this battle here. We'll put him 1 lap down. Bit of damage, losing the night lights. on the 21 machine. That is quite unfortunate. You quite need those, especially on the back section of this track. It's quite dark quite quickly. Just watching here, and ART Magic 8 has taken about another second out of PTG Sean. So he is getting pretty close within striking distance of second place at the moment. And then there is a pretty large gap between the number 8 and 92 machine, both ART drivers. But those top 3 drivers there are quite on top of each other. Ooh. Missing the braking point there a little bit by, I believe that was Wolfman. Race control saying halfway point. Fantastic racing here so far in the first half, and it's only going to continue as it gets darker and darker. TPSR smokes just out in front of the number 98 car. You can now see another second is gone between PTG Sean and Magic 8. So we'll keep an eye on this battle at the moment. Magic 8 is reeling in. PTG Sean in a pretty astounding pace at the moment. That inside pit wall is absolutely terrifying at night. When you start to turn in, it comes up real quick. It comes up quick during the day, but when it's night, it comes up real quick. I have hit that wall so many times in practices. Another half second gone between Magic 8 and PTG Sean. About 8 seconds up the road. You have more of the coat. And it's only been about 4 laps since, I'd say about 5-ish laps since Magic 8 made his way around Schwaneman. Schwaneman with a bit of an incident, now falling back behind Ann Millie and Wolfman with Fuzzball now out in front in that little group. You missed that incident. Now less than a second between the two, as you can definitely see, as Magic 8 is underneath the wing of PTG Sean at the moment. And 11 seconds back to 4th place from him. Once you have the rabbit to chase, it's all over for some drivers. Looking to the outside there, coming down the back section of the track. Carrying so much speed, definitely has less aero than the majority of the field for this track. Getting the pass done there in the final chicane quite cleanly. I believe PTG Sean let him go without much of a fight. I mean, he is currently championship points leading at the moment. So kind of not really wanting to put the car and the championship points at risk. Smart move, but he's definitely going to want to try and stay as close as possible to that number 8 machine as he tries to run down that 98 of More the Coat, who has been leading since lap 2. As Crazy Mittens completed lap 1 in front of the field. Back and check on some of the battles in the cars throughout the field at the moment. As we are about 17 minutes left remaining in the race. Drivers are finally starting to get their groove under the darkness here at Nürburgring. Watching the cars go through this track at night is quite... It's just like mesmerizing. Sit there and watch them. The lighting effects and the rest of the cars, like how they just look and feel at night, is just phenomenal. You see the bright glow of the exhaust pipes coming out the back middle of the car. And the flames that they shoot when they do their rapid downshifts are quite nice. Quite nice indeed. Yes, this is definitely a great race. And this is definitely a race to watch later, too. I'll put this up on the big screen. Of course, I'm going to have me muted, because I wouldn't want to hear me. So thank you for all who who are here. About 15 minutes left in the race. Still have More the Coat out front with about 10 seconds back to second place of ART Magic 8. We'll see if he's got the pace to cut that 10 minutes down. PTG Sean really starting to put the hustle in his pace too, trying to keep up with the lead pole sitter at the moment. Magic 8. Really starting to push his car hard as More of the Coat is starting to catch the 74 machine of Smokes. I believe will be a lap down at that point. Don't think he's technically a lap down now. He did have to pit for damages after an incident a few laps back with P1R Trigger. I'm not entirely sure the cause of the incident. All I know is the 74 machine caught the rear end of the 584 machine coming out of the stadium section. That was all we saw when we jumped onto that camera. And both Both cars needed to make a pit. And Smokes is the only one that has left since then. So we'll see what happens. Looks like Smokes let more of the coat by through the downhill section. So some great heads-up driving by him. Because it does look like more than the coat is losing a little bit of pace to the second place car at the moment of Magic 8. Now, only time will tell with only 13 minutes left and 10 seconds between them. I don't think the pace of both drivers is equal to the gap that is between them. Magic 8 has definitely shown the greater of the pace this weekend here at Nürburgring. Scratch that, he just basically knocked off 2 seconds there, but More the Coat did have to fight his way around the 74 of Smoke. So, again, anything can happen here with the 45-minute race here in the night. Only time will tell with just under 12 and a half minutes to go. Not really too many other battles going on besides that, and this one with the ART and Millie going at it with less than a second between them out on track as they come across the line. Schwaneman coming in second in the sprint race, the 15-minute sprint race just before this. Started in 14th overall for this race, moving up to 7th as of right now. So not bad on working his way through half of the field in a 45-minute race. Great pace indeed. Well, as a lot of these guys are really putting in some terrific lap times at the moment. Both Fuzzball, Wolfman, and Millie doing great to buckle down their positions here on track. Definitely fighting for their positions amongst each other, as well as Schwaneman here just behind them. Have a little bit further back on track is PTG Onyx and DOR Cactus. They've been kind of going at it a little bit there in the distance. Not really together on track, but racing for lap times is definitely something to strive for in these later segments of the race when you're not quite next to one another, but it keeps the blood pumping. Schwaneman does a good to pull Ann Millie back up close underneath the back section of the track. So it looks like Ann Millie has a little bit of an edge over the first sector, about par from one another through the second sector, and Schwaneman has a little bit of an edge there in the back straight section. So that's a great battle, definitely. About 8 seconds flat between first and second of More the Coat and Magic 8. So not a lot has changed there pace-wise. It looks like More the Coat has turned on the afterburners after Magic 8 made his way around PTG Sean. Under 10 minutes to go here in race 2. Hello, everybody joining for the last few minutes here of round 3 of the Paddock Sim Racing Super Trofeo at Nurburgring. Battles have been quite epic so far this race, as well as the sprint race just before. It's definitely going to come down to the wire for a few of these drivers. 8 minutes to go and less than 8 seconds between first and second. But there is still the 74 machine in between the two, as he is now a lap down from the leader due to an incident earlier. See, they are spread out all over the track now. That is, what is that in front of him? Is that crazy? Is that Mittens right in front of him? I believe that might be Mittens. No, that's not. Mittens is out here in 12th. Is that Wolfman? Did Wolfman? Yeah, Wolfman lost a little bit of space there. To both Ann Millie and Schwaneman. So now that Ann Millie has got a target to hunt, it's now a three-way battle for that 5th overall. As Fuzzball gets a little bit of breathing room from him here in the final stages of this race. It's less than 2 seconds between the three of them. Forward with Ann Millie for just a moment, as it looks like Magic 8 did make his way around the 74 of TPSR Smokes. Doesn't look like he lost a lot of time to the 98 car either in the process of doing it. Maybe lost about a half second or so. He still has about 7.5 seconds up the road to the 98 machine of More the Coat, who has been leading since lap 2 of this race and has kind of set sails on everybody else. Well, it's coming down to the wire. These three here for 5th, 6th, and 7th still battling it out. About a second in between each other. The rest of the field is quite spread out at the moment, besides these two. I mean, you still have the battle that is directly behind these guys of the 51 and 95. They're within seeing distance now of each other, actually. So, yeah, they're pretty close right there. Still no change between the top two out on track, about 7.5 seconds between the two. About now 7 seconds between the two. Yep. Been going back and forth for a couple sector times now. They come through. The final thing here is you can definitely see Schwaneman's all over the back of Ann Millie as they come through that final sector. Definitely see each driver's strengths and weaknesses within the sector times that they're pulling out. great battle going on here between these two. Definitely have been going at it since the start of this race, so the sweat is probably quite real between these guys. The level of focus and concentration going on in this middle pack is so real, as you can definitely tell that Ann Millie has the upper hand going through the stadium section and into the downhill as he reels in Bad Wolf and starts to pull away from Schwaneman, but towards the end of the lap there, starts to pull uh, back away from both Schwaneman and Wolfman. So difference in setups and car control there, you can definitely see. The tighter sections are more preferable for the 67 machine in the straights. Bring the battle back together with both the 15 and the 92. As they head up through the Schumacher S's, about par from one another as in the splits. Ooh, a little bit there of a checkup between Wolfman and Ann Millie, kind of putting Schwaneman out, having to force him to the outside, gapping. No, there's still no real distance difference between them. That could have gotten real scary real quick. With less than, let's see, where is our leader heading through the stadium section now? I believe we will have one more lap after this, depending on when he crosses the line. 21 laps down here in the 45-minute stint. Let's be right on board with more of the coat, kind of playing it easy, hitting his marks. Hit your brakes at the right points. Oh, thank you, Toasty. That means a lot. That means a lot. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, and if you do miss them, Toasty, I do highlight the races and I put them in our archive. And there is a link below to our YouTube channel, which I post all of the archives of all the races up there. And in the descriptions, I do time stamps for each race start. So if you don't want to hear me babbling in between the races, you can go ahead and just cut straight to the race, straight to the action with those. So definitely check those out if you do end up missing any of our events. Yes. And we're under a minute now as more of the coat will come across the line for the final time, so the white flag will fly this time by with about 6 seconds back to Magic 8. So we'll ride on board here with our leader at the moment, but the battle is definitely to be had here for 5th, 6th, and 7th, as these guys have been elbowing each other in the gut this entire race. Both Ann Millie Schwaneman and Bad Wolfman definitely had Fuzzball in there for quite some time. Schwaneman definitely underneath the wing of Ann Millie there in the final section, but that's no... And he's probably used to that by now, as that's happened every single lap, but he'll pull away just a bit heading through the stadium section, as your race leader will now come up to the lapped down car of TPSR Fudge, who is finally back out on track after some pit lane time, defending the inside line there by Ann Millie through the stadium section, leaving the inside line open for Schwaneman. Doesn't quite get away with it, so positions remain the same as they head down towards the downhill section. As the 98 machine comes through the downhill, or the backside of the track. As we remain in this battle here for 5th, 6th, and 7th. The 98 hits the bottom of the hill and now comes back up towards the final chicane. as these guys are battling out as they head up towards the Schumacher S's. No real position changes there. We'll jump on board with our race leader as he will come across the line and finish the race. More the coat will be your race leader. Takes the inside line and the checkered flag. Well done indeed. All right. And Magic 8 will come across the line there in second place. PTG Sean with a magnificent drive there tonight will come across the position and take the final podium. Well done indeed. But the story isn't over yet as Ann Milley defends the inside line as Wolfman will come across the line taking 5th overall. And right behind him will be Ann Milley and Schwaneman. What a great drive by those guys. I bet they are relieved it's over and they can let go of the steering wheel and or controller, because that was a nail biter all the way to the end. As we ride on board with PTG Onyx, who comes across the line, and the 51 machine picking up 8th place. Well done as DOR Yellow Cactus, a great drive by him, maintaining a 9th position for the end of the 45-minute. As DOR Steve will come across the line here in just a second. As he comes through the final chicane and through the final corner, around the bend and across the line, the number 911 will claim 11th overall. That is your final grid position there, as Crazy Mittens will claim 12th. Great drive by everybody. That was a fantastic race. I will upload this. As you can see, they're doing their victory donuts there in the final in the sand in turn 1. Fantastic drive by everybody, and well done, More the Coat and Magic 8 for their race 1, race 2 wins. That is it for the race. As for the next race, let's bring up the schedule here. So the next race will be at Paul Ricard next weekend. It will be a daytime overcast race. Same bet time, same bat place. Yeah, come by the stream. I will have another fantastic live stream for you guys. But that's not all the news that I have. I will have points up in Discord for this probably by Monday, as everybody resets for the next round. The next thing I want to tell you guys, tomorrow we will actually be having our round 2 of our Mazda MX-5 Cup at Road America. So if you want to participate in that, yeah, thanks again, Toasty. Thanks for stopping by and watching and supporting. Much appreciated. Have a good night. Stay safe out there. Yeah, Mazda MX-5 Cup will be tomorrow night about the same time as this race. So registration is on our Discord. I believe the link is below. Go ahead and click there if you want to participate. Simple build sheet. Just download the Word document. Everything you need to know is in there. That's it for that. As for a little bit of a teaser, we've decided to announce a teaser for our next series in ACC. So here is the teaser. What is that? Okay, that's all you get. Okay, that's all you get. No more, no less. That's all you get. All right, guys. That's it. Points for this particular event will be up in Discord shortly. Thank you for everybody who came out to the stream. Thank you to all of our drivers for such an amazing event. Thank you to all of our admins who helped support and put this together. It was a great run. Everybody stay safe. Stay healthy out there. We will see you tomorrow for the Forza Motorsport Mazda MX-5 Cup Series. Yeah, that's all I have to say. This will be up on YouTube shortly. Okay. Weasel out. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Yes, Porsche. Much Porsche. Much love. All right. Bye, guys.